Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this UZOLI wireless weather station. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So if we look at the side here, it says product name weather station, model EM3390, wireless transmission range up to 197 feet or 60 meters, input is 100 to 240 volts 50-60 hertz, output is DC 5 volts at 1.5 amps, comes with a weather station. It comes with 3 remote sensors, so that's a nice feature of this product. It has 3 remote sensors so you can monitor 3 different places, plus the temperature at the base station. Has a user manual and has a DC adapter for the weather station. And it says batteries are not included. The other side lists features. So this has WWVB radio time control function, so this can set its own time. You can select or customize the city, sunrise sunset time, moon phases and tide levels, week month display in 3 languages, time in 12 or 24 hour, 2 daily alarm clocks, indoor outdoor temp and humidity, maximum minimum values for temp and humidity, display of comfort, display of indoor mold risk, frost warning, temp and humid upper and lower limit alert, weather forecast. Up to 3 wireless outdoor sensors can be connected. That said outdoor, but that could be outdoor or indoor. So let's get this open. So here's the sensors, and here's the weather station. And here we have the manual. So I'm not going to go over every aspect of the manual. We'll take a quick look. So it talks about the features here. This talks about the display. And it looks like it can display all 3 temperatures at the same time from the sensors, plus the internal temperature. So that's nice. It's not going to rotate back and forth between them. And here are the buttons on the side. So I'll scroll up through this. If you want to pause, you can read through this in detail. This talks about the different parts of it and the different buttons. There's a wireless sensor. So this talks about setting it up. It says open the battery compartments of the remote sensors and choose the channel. So there's channel 1, 2, and 3. Insert 2 AA batteries into each sensor. So we'll do that first, and then we'll turn on the display console. So I'll get these all ready. Now these all have their own display on them. So I'll open up the back. I'll go grab some batteries. So I'll put the batteries in here. So you'll need 6 AA batteries for the sensors. So we can see the selector on here says 1, 2, 3. So this one I'll have as 1, this one I'll have as 2, and this one I'll have as 3. So then we have a Celsius Fahrenheit button on there and a transmit button. So I think I can put the backs back on. So these will sit up on their own. They have a little foot on them. They also have a little keyhole so you can hang them. So you could put a screw on a surface and then hang those from the screw. And finally, this has a little plastic coating on it that we can peel off. Like so. So I have the 3 sensors ready. The temperatures and humidity on here are pretty close to each other. So now I'll open up this part. If I open up the back here, this also takes 2 AA batteries, but you can plug this in too. So if you don't have a place to plug this in, you can run it off batteries, but if you want it to display all the time, like never shut off, then we'll plug it into power. So it has some kickstands here. It has a 5-volt output charger, so you can charge a device with this like a phone. So that's kind of handy. So if you plug this power adapter in a place that you normally would charge your phone, you can use this as a substitute for your phone charger. So the power cord's around 5 foot long. Plug that into here. And I'll plug that into power. I'll peel the plastic off the front here. We heard a little beep. Turn off my light. Looks like we've already picked up 1 sensor here. See if the other ones pick up on their own. Okay, so they're all up here. That was pretty quick. The instructions said it can take up to 3 minutes. This happened a lot faster. So I'm going to go put these in some different places. Okay, I put those sensors in some places. I don't remember which ones I put where, but I should be able to tell by the temperatures once it updates here. So let's take a look at this a little closer. So we have the buttons on the side here. I'll use these to program it. So I'm going to hold down this top button for programming mode. Okay, I'm actually going to shut the light off so we can get a better view of this. So I'll do that again. So we have beep on or off. I would like that off. Press that top button again. We have temp is Fahrenheit or Celsius. I want Fahrenheit. So we have pressure is inches of mercury, or let's be HPA. That would be pascals. I forget the term for that. Auto RCC. That would be for time. I'll leave that on. Auto daylight saving time. I want that on. We have the time zone. So I'm in Central Standard Time. Time format. I want 12 hour. And here we can set the time, which I don't want to do. I'll let that auto set. And we have language is English, that's correct for me. Pressure, we have absolute or relative. I'll do absolute. Then we have weather, so it's sunny right now. Okay, so this will automatically set its time, but I am in the basement, so it doesn't get a great signal down here. So I'll have to move it upstairs to get it to set its time. So one thing to consider, it's still not a bad idea to put some batteries in here, so you have a backup in case the power goes out. So let's change the city. So that's down here, so that's the bottom button. So I'll hold that down. Okay, so change this. So this comes with a list of cities, so I'll find my city in here, and there are lots of cities here. So my city's not in here, and I can customize that, but I'll just do a close city, which would be Chicago. So that's CHI. And here we can set our longitude and latitude. But I'll go through that and change it later to my current city. So this does have an alarm clock. So on the side, we can hit the alarm clock and hold that down. And here we have the alarm. So here we can go up and down through here to set that, but I don't want to set an alarm right now. And you can set your repeat from Monday through Friday. You can set your snooze time. Here's alarm 2. So you can set 2 different alarms on it. That's really nice. Now if we press alarm, we can go in here and we can turn the alarm on or off. So it's very easy to set the alarm on here. So I'm going to put some batteries in this, and I'll take it upstairs and let it sync with the time clock. And then I'll come back down and we'll take a deeper look at this interface. Okay, so I took this upstairs and I set the clock. So what I did is I pressed down the up arrow on the side controls, and you hold that down for 2 seconds, and then it will search for the signal and it will set the clock. So I do want to say that I'm doing this in the dark because of the glare off here on the camera. To my eyes, it looks fine. I can easily read it. It's just there's a little bit of that glare from the lights. I wanted to make it a little easier to see in the camera. So I also changed the city here to my city, and I changed the latitude and longitude. And it's saying the sunrise is 4:16 and the sunset is 7:28, but those are off a little bit. I'm not sure exactly why. But let's look at the rest of the interface here. So this is temperature sensor 1. This is outside. So it's 96.5 degrees Fahrenheit outside, 45% humidity, and it's trending upward on the temperature with that little arrow and trending downward on the humidity. And then this one here is in my garage. It's an attached garage. It's 81 degrees trending up and 61% humidity. And this one I put in the refrigerator, and it says 40 degrees trending down and humidity is 52 trending up. And this is going down very slowly. It took a while to get to 40. So I don't know exactly why that is. Now most of the time these temperature sensors don't really need to recognize super fast temperature changes because weather doesn't change that fast. I mean, I have had it where it does change pretty fast, where like a cold front will blow through. Maybe the still air in the refrigerator is keeping that from changing quickly, but it has been trending down. Then over here on the right side we have that forecast. This is going to use things like the barometer to try and guess what the forecast is going to be. So it may not be perfectly accurate, but it may give you an idea what the weather's supposed to be. And then here I changed the barometer. So this is 28.82 inches of mercury and it's trending down. And I talked about this already. We have our sunrise, sunset, and we have our time, our date, day of the week, and then this is the inside temperature. So this has mold risk, and it says it's low, 78.4 degrees Fahrenheit, and 51% humidity, trending down. So that's the main interface here. So I forgot to mention here, this also has the moon phases down here, and the tide. Tide's kind of irrelevant for me in the Midwest. So now in the normal mode, we can press the down button to see the min and max temperatures. So this is the max, this is the min. So we can see how that's changed. And then we can hold that down to reset it also. So that way you can tell trends over time. So then also on the side, and I'll turn the light on for a sec here, we have this alert button. So I will hold that down. And this will allow you to set up alerts for different things. So here we have the high temperature alert, and we can use the arrow buttons to change this. We have the low alert, we have the high humidity, and the low humidity alert. So if you're curious if it's going to freeze or if it's going to be too hot, so say you have a horse barn and you want this out there, you want to know if the water's going to freeze or different things like that, you can turn those alerts on. This will alert you if it reaches those thresholds. So let's talk about the backlight here. So this top button on the right, if we press that, that will change the brightness level. So you can turn it off. So if you have this in a bedroom, you don't want a light on, you can turn that off. I'll press it again. We can turn it to level 1. So this is the lowest mode. Level 2, and then level 3. So there's 3 brightness levels and off. So if you're in any of the other levels that aren't 4, you can tap the top and it will brighten it for I think 15 seconds. So I'll turn this up to 4. Now I'm plugged into power. If you're not plugged into power, this display will be off unless you tap the top, and then it will brighten up so you can read it, and then it will go back into its off state. That's when it's running on power, so it doesn't drain the batteries real fast. So this does have an automatic night mode. So if we hold down that top button, the touch button, for 3 seconds, it will take us into this configuration here. Now we can adjust this. We could turn this on, and I'm going to press the top button next to go to the next setting. Here's the brightness level we want at night, so you can have it 1 or 0 if you don't want it on at all. Then we can say what time we want to turn it on. So we could have this go on at 9 o'clock. Then we have what time we want to turn off. So if you want this to go into dim mode at 9 o'clock at night and turn on at 6 in the morning, to the bright mode, you can do that automatically. So I don't have this in my bedroom, so I will turn that off. I probably don't need that feature, but I think it's a very handy feature to have on here for people who do want to have this in a place like where they're sleeping and they don't want it to be bright during the night. So that's the UZOLI wireless weather station. If you're looking for a weather station that has multiple sensors, I think this is a good option to consider. As I said before, I like that it shows them all here, but also the individual sensors have the temperature and humidity on them. So if you have one in your wine cellar, you can look at the temperature right there on the sensor, or you can read it on this. I found this to be pretty easy to set up. I just put batteries in the sensors first, and then it automatically found them. Now, if they don't find them, or you change something up, you can look through the guide. It will tell you how to switch that up. I had a little bit of trouble with it getting the time, but based on previous experiences with things that use the time radio, I knew that this wasn't going to work well in my basement, and it might have if I left it on. It might have eventually got it, but I find it faster just to take it upstairs and hold down that button. It will automatically get the time. Aside from that, this is very easy to see. Has nice bright colors on it. It looks very modern. I like that look of it. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.